Fair use. Fair use. For educational purpose only. Fair use.
The 608, local express train to North White Plains, departing from track number 32 on the upper level. 608.
Taxi! Taxi!
Frank? Frank? Okay. I didn't think you were coming.
I love you, I do.
Shalom, shalom, shalom. All praises to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, which is to say in the Paleo Hebrew, also known as the Lashawan Kwadash, Yahweh, which is the name of our Heavenly Father, meaning He is, Bahashem, meaning in the name, Yahweh Shai, meaning He is our salvation, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus a so-called black man. Falling in love is for the movies. Falling in love is for the movies. And that scene that you seen was from the movie called Falling in Love, actually, where this guy falls head over heels for this woman, and goes to show you that, this notion that falling in love, you know, is meant for everyone is completely false, okay? Because this is a, you know, ideology that was brought on by Hollywood, okay, and perpetuated throughout their movies and entertainment, okay? Falling in love is for the movies, and furthermore, falling in love could land you in a lot of trouble, okay? So especially as being a man, you're supposed to be able to think logical. When you fall in love, you use your emotions rather than your logical thinking, okay? Because why? You've seen it in the movies how they, perpetrated as, this wonderful sound that was played by the harp, and in the earlier versions, you may see like a falling in love scenario, speaking particularly in cartoons where you see like hearts flying over the person's heads, symbolizing that they're falling in love and that they're in love. But that, is just that. It's just a Hollywood notion, an ideology, an idea that falling in love is something that we all should be, able to obtain, okay? Now, falling in love is for the movies, but loving someone, that's completely, totally different, okay? So this is First Ezra 4 and 25, and it says, "Wherefore a man loveth his wife better than father or mother." 26, yea, many there be that have run out of their wits for women. Right, and when you have this falling in love spirit on you, you're gonna do things that you wouldn't normally do if you was able to think logical, okay? For instance, if you was to come home and you find your wife in the bed with another man, 9 out of 10 times you're gonna do something that's not logical, okay, and end up putting yourself in a more, dire situation as have you not been if you was able to think logical, okay? And then what's going to happen, okay? You're going to go off that man and be, dragged off to, jail. And then what? She's going to go out and find someone else, okay? So falling in love is not logical, okay? It's a spirit that is put on and usually brought on forth through these Hollywood movies and entertainment, okay? It gives you that sense of, emotional, all right? So it says 26, yea, many there be that have run out of their wits for women and become servants for their sakes, right? And, you look back at our, forefathers and you see some of the examples where these great men, ran out of their wits for these women to the point that what? They didn't, hearken and listening to what the Most High told them to, okay? Going back to Adam, okay? Who listened to Eve over the Most High, all right? And who else? Samson, who listened to, Delilah over the Most High. And you can go back to King Solomon, the wisest man on earth, who had, multiple wives and thousands of concubines. And what happened? They had him to go off because why? He didn't listen to his power, Yahweh, okay? So it says, yea, many there be that have run out of their wits for women and become servants for their sakes. Many also have perished, have erred and sinned for women, okay? When you have that fallen in love spirit on you, you can't think logical, okay? And that's not, conducive for a, king-like mentality, all right? You cannot be able to fall in love, all right? You have to think logical, all right? And this word, this truth, this is the only thing that allows us to be able to, operate and focus and think like a king and be logical, all right? So that falling in love spirit is for the movies, man, and leave it there, okay? Now, let's go to Ecclesiasticus. (25), and let's jump down to right around verse 24. And it reads, of the woman came the beginning of sin, and through her we all die. Okay, so the woman was beguiled by the serpent, and that was, the first sin, because the Most High told Adam not to eat from that tree, and he told Eve the same thing, but what? She was beguiled by the serpent, and thus for, breaking the commandment of the Most High, and that's for entering in sin, okay? And because Adam did not listen to the Most High and fell in love with the woman and became overly infatuated with her, he followed after her and committed sin as well, okay? So that falling in love spirit is for the movies, man. You have to have your wits about you. And you cannot have your wits about you when you're emotional and you can't think straight, all right? Now let's go to Matthew, the 24th chapter. And let's jump down to right around the verse 35. And it reads, heaven and earth shall pass away, but my words shall not pass away. Okay. This is the only thing that's going to be stable and, enduring to the end is this word. Heaven and earth, meaning everything under heaven and earth shall pass away. Okay. Everything here that you see is transitory. Okay. It's just temporary. Okay. There's nothing here that's going to last forever except for this word. Okay. So when you fall in love, whether it's with a woman or whether it's with some type of, object, or whether it's your children or, whatever it is, everything here is transitory. Okay. Everything here will pass away except for this word. It's truth. All right. And let's go into that word and see what transitory means. All right. This is the word transitory. And one of the definitions on the Merriam-Webster is of brief duration, temporary, the transitory nature of earthly joy, tending to pass away, not persistent. Okay. So everything on this earth under the heaven is transitory and it's going to all pass away, okay? Especially here in Babylon the Great, when those nuclear missiles come and destroy this place and wipe it off the face of the earth, everything is going to be done away with. But this word is still going to be here, okay? Because this word is what's going to govern the new kingdom, okay? The eternal kingdom to come, okay? This word is what's going to govern in the whole earth, okay? So everything here is transitory. Falling in love is going to lead you into a lot of, downfalls, especially once they implement that mark, okay? And if you falling in love and if you in love with these things that's here on this earth, you're going to be subject to continue to keep them by taking that mark, all right? Now let's go back into Matthew. Okay, we back in the book of Matthew, and we're going to go to chapter 6 and jump down to verse 19. And it reads, "Lay not up for yourselves treasures upon earth, where moth and rust doth corrupt, and where thieves break through and steal. But lay up yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust doth corrupt, and where thieves do not break through nor steal. For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also." And it's not talking about your heart as in regards to your emotions, your feelings on how you feel. It's talking about your heart as in your thought, your mind, okay? So lay not yourselves up treasures for where, upon earth where moth rust doth corrupt. Because like we said and showed you, everything under the heavens, heaven and earth shall pass away, because everything is transitory. But my word shall endure unto the end, okay? So lay up yourselves treasures, where, moss does not rust and thieves do not break in, okay? And that's this truth. So lay up yourselves treasures in this truth. It says, "But lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust doth corrupt, and where thieves do not break through nor steal," okay? They cannot steal this truth from you, okay? This is where you have to put your love in. This is where you fall in love with. You fall in love with the truth, okay? You don't fall in love with things that are transitory, okay? Temporary, okay? Those things could lead you into, going into a downfall and lead you into danger, all right? Fall in love with this truth, okay? Because falling in love is for the movies. They gave you that, feeling in your heart, your emotion, when you feel this, sensational feeling about another individual, whether they call it puppy love or, falling in love or true love. All that falling in love stuff is for the movies, man. Okay? Not saying that you can't love someone, but when you fall in love with something and you become overly infatuated with it, then there lies the issue right there, okay? So you don't fall in love with anything that's transitory, okay? You only fall in love with this truth, this word. This is your first love right here, all right? It says, "But lay up yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust doth corrupt, and where thieves do not break through nor steal. For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also." And that's speaking of your mind, because it tells us in Jeremiah, what? Let's go there and read. Okay, this is Jeremiah 17, and let's go down to verse 9. It says, "The heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who can know it? Only Yahweh." Okay? So the heart is what? It's wicked. It's deceived. It's deceivable above all things and desperately wicked. Okay? So, you lay up treasures in heaven where moss does not corrupt and thieves do not break in to steal. All right? Because everything here on this earth is just that. It's just transitory, okay? And it's going to all fade away. And especially once, judgment comes and it nukes these missiles. These missiles nukes this place. Speaking of Babylon the Great, which is known as America, And it says, the heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who can know it? I, Yahweh, search the heart. I try the reins, even to give every man according to his ways and according to the fruit of his doings. Okay? So Yahweh knows your heart, your mind. Okay? Hollywood tries to play on what they call your heart, your emotional, your emotions, by pulling on your strings, by giving you these, movies where you fall in love and there's music playing in the background and you kiss and it feels like it just lasts forever, an eternity. And, you go on and you ride off on this white horse, and, it's all it's nonsense. It's non-believable. Okay. Now in our youth, we believe this. Okay. Falling in love sounds good. Okay. But waking up to this truth, we know that's detriment to our well-being, okay? When you fall in love, all right? Like I said, many have, error in, following the woman. Let's go in 1 Timothy. And read it again, verse 14. It says, let's jump up to 13. It says, for Adam was first formed, then Eve. And Adam was not deceived, excuse me, but the woman being deceived was in the transgression. Right. She was deceived by the serpent, okay? Who we know in the spirit today is Esau Edom, the so-called white man, all right? And he's coming back in that same, that same spirit, and he's deceiving our people, all right? And one way that he deceives them is through his, his Hollywood, so-called quote unquote magicry, all right? Where he puts things in front of you in the form of a movie and is catching, and he plays on and he pulls on your strings, whether it's through the sound that he plays in the background while he's, promoting the picture that he wants you to, see, or whether it's, the picture itself, okay? Because they say a picture is worth 1,000 words, all right? And when he puts that and projects that onto the movie, people eat it up, all right? They fall in love with that, okay? And especially the woman. And we know what happens when you follow after the woman, okay? Nothing good could come forth from it, all right? When you put the woman above your power, nothing good could come from it, okay? That's why we have this book, this truth, this word, okay? It's to keep us grounded. It's to keep us in the truth. It's to keep us in the faith, okay? We're not supposed to put anything else above it, okay? And when you go and you put the woman as your God, you open up yourself for things that happen, okay? Many great men have fallen to the woman because they have not obeyed and listened to their power, Yahweh, okay? And we named a few just to show, okay? Adam, Samson, King Solomon, the list goes on and forth, okay? And today that woman is represented by this, this kingdom, Babylon the Great. Many have put her as their God and, put the Most High, Yahweh, on the back burner, okay? And that's why their destruction is waiting for them as well. So falling in love is for the movies, man. Let's go to, because there's going to come a time where you're going to have to let it all go. And if you if you are infatuated with this place and overly infatuated at that, it's going to be hard for you to let all this go, okay? Because you're going to be in love and so into it that you're not going to want to let it go. But what does it tell us in Matthew, the 19th chapter, and starting at the 29th verse, it says, and Yahweh shall said unto them, verily I say unto you, Salaki, let me jump down one. That was 28. Verse 29, this is still Yahweh Shah speaking, and it reads, and everyone that has forsaken houses, or brethren, or sisters, or father, or mother, or wife, or children, or lands, for my name's sake, shall receive 100-fold and shall inherit everlasting life. And how are you going to forsake all these, transitory things if you are in love with them? You're not going to be able to. Okay? That's the thing. These things that was just listed off to you are all transitory, okay? This is not our resting place. We won't get these things back to the point where we have to worry about losing them ever again until we get into the kingdom. Okay, on this side, all this is transitory. It's temporary, okay? And if you can't lose all these for Yahweh Shai's sake, then you're not worthy for the kingdom, okay? So it says, 29, and everyone that has forsaken houses, or brethren, or sisters, or father, or mother, or wife, or children, or lands, for my name's sake, shall receive 100-fold and shall inherit everlasting life. So in order for you to inherit everlasting life, you have to be able to forsake all these if it comes down to it for Yahweh Shai's sake. And if you have that fallen in love spirit on you, you're not going to be able to forsake everything for Yahweh Shai's sake. Although we read it that, all these things are transitory, okay? They're not permanent. They're just here temporarily, okay, until we get the kingdom, all right? And if you can't let them go, you're not fit for the kingdom, okay, if it comes down to it, all right? That's why Esau, Edom, that serpent, who beguiled Eve, he's back the day, that same spirit through this, white man, this so-called white man, whose biblical name is Esau, Edom, and he's promoting that same spirit through what? Through his movies, his entertainment, okay? And he's going to use that woman again to get a lot of men to go off, okay? Not seeing the prize, okay? You have to be able to see the prize. The prize is right there in front of you, but you can't see it if you're under that spell of falling in love, all right? Now, this is Micah 2 in verse 10, and it says, arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest. So we don't have rest here on this side, okay? This kingdom that we currently residing in, which is Babylon the Great, under the rulership of Esau, Edom, this is not our rest. We came here to serve out a sentence, okay? We're not going to get rest until Yahweh Shai comes back and take us into the kingdom himself, okay? Take us in back, and bring forth his government, okay? On this side, we're not here to get rest, okay? These things that you think you love, that you've fallen in love with, they're not here to be permanent. They're transitory. They're only here to be temporary, okay? This word, this truth is the only thing that's permanent. That this is the thing that you fall in love with and don't have to worry about ever fading away, okay? It's going to be here long past heaven and earth when they fade away, okay? Speaking of the destruction of this kingdom, okay? This is the last rulership of the heathen. So it says, Micah 2 and 10, arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted, it shall destroy you, even with a sore destruction. And we know that sore destruction is going to be those missiles, those arrows, okay? So understanding that the falling in love spirit is just that. It's for the movies, okay? It's not something that you should live your life by. It's not something that is conducive to having a healthy lifestyle and being in this truth, okay? Sure, you can love something. There's a difference between loving something and falling in love with something, okay? There's a big difference. You say you love your mother, but you don't say you fall in love with your mother. There's two totally different things, okay? When you fall in love with something, you become overly infatuated with it, okay? To the point that it can destroy you, okay? Because it can have you to not think logical. And as a man, you have to be able to think logical in order to lead, okay? That emotion stuff, that's given to the woman, okay? She leads with her emotion. She feels, it's how she feels. It's never logical, okay? As a man, as being a leader, as being the first form, you have to be able to think logical in order to lead, okay? And if you don't have your wits about you, you cannot be a leader, okay? And you get your wits about you through this word, through this truth, okay? You follow after this truth, all right? And she, in turn, follows after you, okay? You don't follow after her, because then you put her as your God and not this word, okay? This word is our guidance. It's through Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shah that we were even able to be called back to this truth, this word, okay? Let's go there and get that in Isaiah 33. And let's jump down to verse 6. And it reads, Isaiah 33 and 6. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength of salvation. The fear of Yahweh is his treasure. Okay? And this is where we get our treasure from, the fear of Yahweh, through this wisdom, through this knowledge and this understanding that he opened us up to. Okay? So that's why movies that you see on, TV, or whether you go in person and watch them and they have that falling in love spirit on them, that's just it. They're for the movies, okay? They cast these spells on you and they put you under these, ideas that falling in love is a good thing, okay? From the movie that I showed you to, I believe a popular one coming up and probably still is today for the so-called black community is that one with the basketball. What is it? I can't even think about it. I never really saw it, but I think it's Love and Basketball or something like that. These things that they give you to put that spell on you, to have you under that fall in love spirit, okay? Which is not conducive, is not going to get you out of hard times, okay? When you fall in love and you go after, things that are transitory, nothing good can happen for you from that, all right? So that's why we as men, as leaders that, are put over women, we supposed to be able to lead logical, okay? And that emotion that, that they give you in these movies, it won't have you able to think logical, okay? It's going to have you using your, what they call heart, your emotion to make, life and death, situation or decisions, all right? So that's why we have to be able to think logical as a man, all right? And falling in love is not logical, okay? It's emotional, all right? So let's go ahead and let's wrap it up and let's go from there. It's 1 Peter chapter 5 and verse 8, and it reads, Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour, okay? And that's exactly what he does through these movies, okay? He sees who he can devour, who will fall after his ideology, his, teachings, and, use and lead with their heart rather than with their head, their heart and their mind, instead of their heart, which he gives you, which is an emotion, okay? Because he gives you that sense of, it feels good. There's music playing in the background. You kiss, and that kiss lasts forever. It feels like it lasts forever. And you get that puppy love where you look into their eyes and, you sit up on the phone you sit up on the phone all night and talking till the sun comes up, okay? That's that overly infatuated love that he gives you, that you fall in love with. And you think that's, true love. You think falling in love is what it's all about, okay? And that couldn't be further from the truth, okay? True love is what? This word. Let's go there. First John 5:3, it says, For this is the love of the Most High, that we keep his commandments, and his commandments are not grievous, okay? This is the love that we are after, okay? This is the love that we are falling in. Those of us in the truth, okay? Those of us that are in the truth, we fall in love with this word, okay? It says, For this is the love of the Most High, that we keep his commandments, and his commandments are not grievous, okay? So we're not looking after the love of Esau, Edom, because he'll have you, after that falling in love spirit, which is going, lead to your downfall. All right. Now, I believe that's Ephesians 4 and chapter 4 and verse 14. It says that we henceforth be no more children, tossed to and fro and carried about with every wind of doctrine. And that falling in love spirit is a wind of doctrine, okay? It's to teach you to, rely and depend on your emotions over your senses, okay? And as being a man, you have to be able to use your logic and think with logical sense rather than emotional, okay? It says, by the sleight of man and cunning craftiness, whereby they lie in wait to deceive. And that's what they do in these movies, okay? They play that music. They hit you with that music. It lures you. It lures you into a false sense of security. It gives you that feeling that they want to, convey to you. Then they hit you with the image. A picture speaks 1,000 words, but a movie, it has to speak 1,000,000. Okay, it shows you that long scene from where the boy meets the girl from across the world, and they come together and they meet somewhere, usually in a park. And it's with stars that's over their head, and then the boy leans in and he goes for the kiss, and he kisses the girl, and the girl kisses him back, and that kiss feels like 1,000 years. Okay, that's that emotion that they want to convey to you in that falling in love spirit. All right, and then what happens there? They start to go out on dates. They start to talk on the phone for hours on end. They talking till the sun comes up, and next thing you know, boy walks into the house and finds his wife or his girl, cheating on him, and he loses it. He can't think logical. Okay, next thing you know, he offs the dude, and now he's sitting in, jail somewhere, facing, 20 to life, and she done moved on by her life. Okay, that plays out numerous times. Okay, when you have that falling in love spirit on you, you can't think logical. Okay, so that's why we read in 1 Peter 5:8 that what? It tells us to be what? Let's read it. 1 Peter 5:8. Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour. Okay, and many fall victim to him with that falling in love spirit. All right, so be sober, be vigilant. Okay, use your head logically. Okay, fall in love with this truth and not with things that are transitory. Yes, the woman is transitory. Yes, your wife is transitory. Yes, your houses are transitory. Yes, your land is transitory. Yes, your children are transitory. Everything here on this side of the earth is transitory, okay? This is not your rest. You're not going to get your rest until we get the kingdom back, okay? And we're not going to get the kingdom back till Yahushua comes back, all right? So keep your wits about you, okay? Falling in love, that spirit is for the movies, man. Don't bring it into your real life world, all right? So with that being said, I pray someone was edified through this lesson. And until the next time, if it be the Lord's will, stay strong, stay in the faith. We almost home. Shalom. Peace.